everyone. Today I'll be presenting on the European Union, or the EU, one of the most influential organizations in global trade and international relations. Over the next 10 minutes, we'll explore EU's member states, historical development, objectives, Canada's involvement, its strengths and weaknesses, and conclude with an analysis over its overall contributions to economic progress. The EU is not just a trade bloc, but a symbol of unity, peace, and collaboration in the modern world. Let's begin. Here's an overview of what I'll cover today. The EU's member states and when they have joined, the historical milestones that shaped the EU into what it is today, the EU's core objectives and guiding principles, Canada's involvement through the Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement, or CETA, the EU's strengths and advantages as a global economic bloc, the weaknesses and challenges it faces, a conclusion assessing whether the EU's benefits outweigh its drawbacks. This structure will give you a clear picture of the EU's role in global trade and its significance on the world stage. The European Union currently has 27 member states, each joining at a different point in its history. Let's go over them. In 1957, the EU was founded by 6 countries: Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands. These nations established the European Economic Community, or the EEC, to rebuild Europe after the World War II. In 1973, Denmark, Ireland, and the United Kingdom joined. The UK, however, left in 2020 due to Brexit. In 1981, Greece became the first Southern European country to join. In 1986, Spain and Portugal joined, further expanding the EU's southern reach. In 1995, Austria, Finland, and Sweden joined, adding strength from Northern Europe. In 2004, this was the EU's largest expansion, bringing in 10 countries, including Poland, Hungary, and the Baltic states, integrating much of the Eastern Europe. In 2007, Bulgaria and Romania joined, continuing the Eastern expansion. In 2013, Croatia became the most recent member. Each member contributes to EU's policies and decision-making. Together, these nations form one of the world's largest economic blocs with over 450 million people. The EU's journey began with the desire to prevent future conflicts in Europe by fostering economic cooperation. Here are the key milestones. In 1951, the European Coal and Steel Community came into place, the ECSC. This was the first step towards integration, focusing on coal and steel production, industries critical to war. It was meant to prevent any one of the countries from monopolizing these sources. In 1957, the Treaty of Rome was introduced. This treaty created the European Economic Community, the EEC, establishing a customs union and laying the groundwork for the free movement of goods, services, and people. In 1986, there was the Single European Act. This treaty set the goal of a single market by 1992, removing remaining barriers to trade and movement. In 1993, there was the Maastricht Treaty. This formally created the EU and introduced plans for a single currency, the euro. It also established European citizenship. In 2009, the Lisbon Treaty came into place. This reformed EU governments, giving the European Parliament more power and streamlining decision-making to adapt to a growing membership. These milestones transformed the EU from a trade-focused organization into a political and economic union. The EU's objectives go beyond trade. They are ambitious and encompass a wide range of goals. Firstly, they promote peace. The EU was designed to prevent wars in Europe by fostering cooperation and integration. Also, they want to create a single market. This allows the free movement of goods, services, people, and capital among member states, making trade easier and more efficient. Sustainability. Through initiatives like the European Green Deal, the EU aims to combat climate change and achieve carbon neutrality by 2050. Global influence. Acting as a single bloc, the EU negotiates trade agreements that benefits all of its members. Social and economic inclusion. The EU funds poorer regions to reduce inequalities and promote cohesion. These objectives have positioned the EU as a leader in innovation, sustainability, and global governance. Canada's relationship with the EU is built around the Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement, or CETA, signed in 2016. Here are its key features. Tariff elimination. CETA removes 98% of tariffs on goods and services traded between Canada and the EU, reducing costs for businesses. Market access. Canadian companies gain access to EU's massive market of over 450 million consumers. Investment opportunities. The agreement encourages foreign investment, creating jobs and economic growth in both regions. Standard cooperation. CETA promotes high standards for labor rights, environmental protection, and food safety. This agreement has significantly boosted trade between Canada and the EU, particularly in sectors like machinery, pharmaceuticals, and agriculture. The EU's strength make it one of the most successful regional organizations in the world for multiple reasons. Economic integration. The single market allows seamless trade across member states, creating jobs and driving growth. Global influence. The EU negotiates trade agreements as a bloc, giving it significant leverage in international negotiations. Innovation funding. Programs like Horizon Europe provide billions of euros for research and development. Free movement. EU citizens can live, work, and study anywhere in the EU, fostering cultural and economic exchange. Stability. By coordinating policies, the EU ensures economic and political stability. These strengths have made EU a model for regional cooperation. Despite its strength, the EU faces several challenges. Brexit. The UK's departure highlighted tensions over sovereignty and EU membership rules. Bureaucracy. Decision-making can be slow due to the need for unanimous agreements among 27 members. Economic disparities. Wealthier countries like Germany often subsidize poorer members, leading to political friction. Eurozone rigidity. The shared currency has caused issues, like Greece's debt crisis, where countries cannot adjust their monetary policies independently. Migration policies. Disagreements over handling migration and asylum seekers have strained relationships between member states. These challenges show that managing such a diverse organization is no easy task. To conclude, the European Union is a remarkable example of regional cooperation and economic integration. Its strengths, such as a single market and global influence, outweigh its challenges. While issues like Brexit and economic disparities persist, the EU continues to adapt and evolve. It remains a cornerstone of a global trade and essential player in shaping the global economy. I referenced several sources for this presentation, including the European Union's official website, the Canada's government resources on CETA, and peer-reviewed articles analyzing the EU's impact. These provide a well-rounded view of the EU's history, objectives, and global significance. Thank you for your attention. I hope you found this presentation insightful. Please feel free to ask questions.